Go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Live. I'm here in Jersey. That's Magnus in California.
How's it going, guys?
Genetic testing. Should you get it? So, Magnus, I was having a conversation with my friend, my sister, Carrie. What's up if you're watching? Her and her husband are medical professionals. And I said, what do you guys think about genetic testing? And she's like, yeah, I had it done. And I was like, so what is genetic testing if you're watching now and wondering, hey, what the hell is that? What kind of what are you talking about? Genetic test. Okay, so genetic testing, Magnus, you have a PhD in biochem, but it's that lost you again. I don't know. Shit, Magnus. I'm gonna keep it rolling, baby. I'm just gonna keep it rolling. I'm gonna keep the show rolling. You jump in when you jump in, okay? So genetic testing is when they test your genes. So your molecules, DNA, the helix of the DNA, and it's a medical procedure to analyze the person's DNA to identify genetic variations or mutations, and the variations and mutations can provide information about a person's risk for developing certain diseases, the susceptibility to things, to medications, and their ancestry actually too. So if you think about that, like doing a spit swab, which I did at Ancestry.com. Magnus, I'm going to just keep this mofo rolling, buddy. So I'm just going to, if I lose you, I lose you. But
okay, no problem. I'm back again.
Yeah. So I'm just doing the intro, like what is genetic testing. But anyway, so, and you can test for any kind of, I guess, any kind of disease. I mean, probably most
any type of genetic disease.
Correct, right. So there's right.
And I wouldn't say anybody because they're still kind of generic. We need to do more research and have them more individualized too. So I mean,
right.
At this point in time.
Yeah, because that's the thing, right? And I was talking to my friend Carrie. I was like, there's a lot of problems, I guess. And I just lost you. Jump in when you jump in. There's a lot of problems when you get a genetic test because it is not only, like you were saying, Magnus, not quote unquote perfected yet. It's not a certainty either, Magnus. So we were just saying it's not a certainty that you would or wouldn't get something, but it gives you a percentage chance that you might get something. It doesn't test for everything. And then what happens if you find something that you are going to potentially get, but there's no cure for it? Now what? You learn something, but what good can you do? And my friend Carrie is like, well, you could prepare, whatever for the worst, and at least you can prepare. I think that now opens up a Pandora's box about personality types.
Yeah.
If you really want to know that, but if you're going to have children, that could help out. Hey, they can test for Down syndrome and things like that. And so it's like, do you want to have a child or not? At least you have the information to make the best decisions. Magnus.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think, like you said, it is Pandora's box, and you have to think this through.
Okay, so it's Pandora's box
quite a lot before
so it's like, and
actually
then
go take it.
And my friend Carrie brought up this good point.
So,
like if you take this test and you find out something, but you're not someone that has the relative money and means to do something about it, then you kind of screwed. So it is a Pandora's box. You have to be, I guess, kind of careful. So yeah. So what we're just saying, if you have the money, then maybe you can do stuff. But if you don't have the money, but you just took the test, then you set yourself up for failure because it's like, well, then what? Like,
Yeah, I think it could be a trigger, like you said. Then people stop taking care of themselves, or I don't know. I mean, worst case scenario, if you have a violent streak in you, I mean, could you become violent? Things like that. I mean, I don't know.
Start saying, hey, I'm going to start doing cocaine now. Forget it. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like,
and you don't know till you get there. You don't know till you get there.
Exactly. So I think, I mean, I'm kind of neutral to it. I mean, I haven't done it myself. I haven't done any 23andMe or anything like that because, but to be honest,
I get what you're saying.
That's kind of where
I'm interested in doing it, and I did an Ancestry DNA, to see where my DNA is from, like Italy or Europe or whatever. But there's different types of DNA testing, and I guess it all depends, right? I mean, if you know you have a family history of something like Angelina Jolie, I don't know, did she remove her breast because she had like she had a certain gene? It wasn't a guarantee, but it was like a 90%. That's the other thing, right?
Yeah, high risk.
Right. It's not a guarantee you're gonna get the breast cancer, but it's a higher risk. So then you got to ask yourself, all right, now operations come with certain risks too. So now I'm going to get an operation for a disease I don't have, but I might. And now you could get infected with, anything by just getting the operation. You can get sepsis. You can go into anything can happen in an operating table. So it's like you have to really think about cost benefit analysis. Like, am I going to remove something out of my body? And just having the operation is risky. You could die on an operating table. Operations are not, they're not a game. It's not a toy. It's not playtime. So you really got to think like, you're going to get these unnecessary operations, or are they necessary operations? You don't know because you don't have the disease yet or at all. Maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. So it's just like, it's not a guarantee you're getting a certain type of cancer. It's just a higher probability. So these are the things now. So am I going to be running to the doctor for all these operations? And then what? You have recovery time, downtime. You could get injured. It's just like, man, it's tough. I think at the minimum, definitely go for your yearly checkups. I mean, like colonoscopy. Now, we're not talking about DNA testing now, but like get your colonoscopy every 10 years or sooner, your mammograms, get your PSA done, get your yearly physicals done. Yeah, I mean, if you know that maybe you do have a higher risk, maybe have more preventative testing done. But the DNA testing, I think that's pushing the envelope a little bit. Again, to each his own. But and then the cost, right? A DNA test can be $100 or it could be $2,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's also that is has a lot to do with accuracy. I mean, that's why what you pay for. The more money you usually spend, the more accurate it's going to be. I mean, like it's easy to do nowadays compared to it was like 20 years ago. So, but still, I mean, we're still just scratching the surface of getting an understanding for it as well too. So I'm still in that
it
kind
doesn't
of
mean you're
phase.
going to
It's
get the
like,
disease
well,
either. So I don't know. Let's just
if
say
it doesn't give me
you
any
get this
100%
DNA test, a
guarantees,
high quality
like
one, and it says you have a
stressing you out,
30%
maybe.
chance of getting the certain disease, or a 37% chance of getting a certain disease, or a 49%. Like, okay, at what point then are you going to get an operation for a 30% extra risk? Like, at what point do you say, it's operating time if it crosses the 50% threshold? But, Magnus, I was saying, like, at what point does someone say, all right, I'm getting an operation if I'm 30% more likely to get something, or 39% more likely, or 41% more likely? What point do you pull the trigger and say, okay, it's operating time? Like, we know 90% you probably want to get an operation, but like, that's not always going to say 90 or 10. So what if it's a 10% risk? Like, so like, then you got all these gray areas and minutiae, and it's just like, I don't know. Do you want that stress? I mean,
and also like risk and reward, right? So what will this bring you? Like, what would this disease potentially give you, and so on? So it's very tricky.
Right. And we're talking cancers, right? But it could be just something like, okay, I got a genetic disposition as I get older for maybe, higher chance of arthritis. Okay, so what should I do with that though? Like, I can't, what am I going to, like, maybe eat better? So like, what if they say you're going to have a higher chance for arthritis, right? Okay, cool. Well, what do I do? Like, so you can say, well, eat better, exercise. Okay, well, I could have done that without the test and saved myself $2,000.
Yeah, but I do think that a lot of people are taking the tests because they don't want to do the actual work, which is, like lifestyle change, and then, maybe I can eat a medicine instead and keep on drinking every single night or whatever it is. So, I mean, like,
right.
You need to understand is like, you should try to reduce the risk as much as possible, like whatever you can do to start out with.
Right.
And that might be doing some major lifestyle changes.
To your point. If you're not going to get some operation and stuff, again, there's a lot of layers to this. It's not just black and white. It's not like, I took a test, I got 100% guarantee of getting this type of cancer, and now I'm going to just preventively chop shit off. Like, it doesn't work like that. You might have a 15% chance extra of getting a cancer, or a 20% chance extra of getting a certain cancer, or a 90% chance of a certain, like, what point, what's threshold? And you could say, well, I want to know that. Okay, cool. But then how's that going to make you feel? Do you know yourself that you're going to be chill and okay and not be fucking stressed out every single day now? You know what I mean? It's a lot. So Magnus, I was saying, to your point, like, you take a test, how much extra, percentage? I always say too, I like to live, and I try to live like I have cancer, meaning eat right, exercise, sleep right. Don't put shit in my body, So I try to think like that. Like, I don't live my life in fear. I'm not miserable, but eat right, sleep right, work out.
It's a motivation for you.
Get get your yearly physicals, right? Shit like that. Get your teeth clean. That all matters. That's for heart health. Like, get your skin checked. So I'm not saying live in fear, but that's what we can do. I think genetic testing depends on your personality. If you're a chill person and you're like, cool, man, I got an extra, I got a 41% chance of getting a certain type of disease. I'm okay. I'll chill out, cool. But if you're like me, I'm high strung. I don't know that I want to know it, but anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slippery slope. You again, there's a balance to everything. Like, if you feel like it would have a negative effect on you, then you probably should wait. If not, like you can deal with whatever, then go for it.
Yeah, no, Magnus, I would say if you know you have a family history of certain types of
Yeah,
cancer, then go get the genetic testing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I
But if
mean,
there's no family history, you're healthy, you're eating right, exercise. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would worry too much, but
it's the same thing with vaccines and things like that. I mean, we do have
yeah, same thing with
vaccines for certain
vaccines. You were
cancers. I
saying,
mean,
right?
if you're in the
Like,
risk group,
yeah.
like,
I mean, the
go ahead.
vaccines
Like, that's one of the
are
best things you
preventative
can do.
maintenance.
Be
It
proactive.
depends on how old you are, what your immune system's like, and things like that. No doubt. So these are all preventative steps. I think it's a conversation worth having with your friends and family, your doctor. You were saying with vaccines, Magnus?
Yeah, I was saying, like, if there's certain cancer types that has vaccines, and you're if one of those risk groups, you should probably consider it. I'm like, well, I would
Well,
100%.
let's talk about that, right? HPV vaccine. Now, if you're, I think, 10, 11 years old in America, the doctors pretty much, you just get an HPV vaccine for boys and girls. So that prevents the, what do they call it, cancer of a woman's private parts down there, because men carry it, but they can give it to the woman. And it also helps prevent head and neck cancers. So I had that vaccine, actually. I got it when I was younger, basically meaning you're going to be sexually active. Okay. Let's not act like we're not, right? So doctors usually highly recommend that parents give the HPV vaccine to their boys and girls when they're 10 and 11, right before, puberty, because people are sexually active. And, you can't be like, no, my child, we read the holy word. Stop. Humans are humans, and you don't have to have necessarily intercourse. So HPV vaccine, to your point, right? Anybody that's going to be relatively relatively young, it's probably good, and single, you probably want to get that. Anyways, Magnus, before this cuts off again, anything you want to add?
No, it's been an interesting episode, me cutting out all the time, but
Yeah,
yeah,
they can't stop us, baby. They can't stop us.
of course not, and we're stubborn as well.
Yeah, we've been doing this, I think, going on 3.5 years now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Keep on
I'm
rolling,
gonna wait
man.
for Magnus to come back and tell me what you think about that, Magnus. 3.5 years. Holy shit. Wellness Week Live. Wellness Week Live, ladies and gentlemen, get your vaccines, you lazy sons of bitches. Magnus, before it cuts off again, we've been doing this for 3.5 years. What do you think of that?
Yeah, we're gonna continue for another 30, right?
Well, they say at the 10-year mark, then you start making traction, and who knows? But so, all right, Magnus, thank you for checking in.
Yeah, well, hopefully the technology work better next time.
Yeah, big shout out to Green Lantern.
Yeah, why not?
By the way, Magnus, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm just going to leave this little crumb for you. Right now, I'm working on transforming my 4-foot garbage pail into a Spider-Man, spray painting and painting it. And
Cool.
It'll have Spider-Man.
You have to show me sometime.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave. See, cut out. I'm going to give him one more shot. I just want to, because I know he's a comic book geek. Hold on. So no one's watching at this point. Nobody watches past 2 minutes. No, real quick. So I'm transforming my garbage into a Spider-Man with Dr. Octopus fighting Spider-Man. And anyways, when I'm done, I'm like 20% into it right now, but doing acrylic paint and spray paint. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I got the top lid done. And then when you pop the lid, the inside lid is Venom. You shut it. The outside lid is Spider-Man. So
That's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be
really,
dope.
really cool.
It's going to be dope, man. So anyways, all right. Thank you, Magnus. Thank you, everybody. Check back in. We're out of here.
Hang in there, guys. Have a good one.